Everyone, today we're in Oklahoma City, and you may remember a video that I did on this mall right here, Crossroads. And we are at the very first Toys R Us that I ever went to. You can see the sign there. This is the first one that ever opened up, and it's now closing. Everything's supposed to be 60% off. But I thought we'd go through there and just do one last tour through the store and see how it goes. There's the front end area where all the lanes were. Customer service desk. They did remodeling in this over the years, but it's still relatively the same. So they have these Wonder Woman dolls here. And I'm not sure how this is a good idea, but it actually launches these arrows. That way you can poke out your kids' eyes, or they can poke out their brother and sister's eyes when they're shooting those arrows. Everything in the store is supposed to be up to 60% off right now. There's a lot of inventory that's left in here though. They're also selling the fixtures and furniture in the store. The store is actually really crowded right now. Full parking lot, and I haven't seen this many people in Toys R Us in forever. Majority of the stuff in here is still at 40% off. But you do see some things that are 60% off. There's actually a lot of games in here still, and they're all 40% off. Fish food. So they have this one game here, and obviously they have a lot. I'm not sure what the appeal of it is, but just the name of it, Silly Sausage, Twist Me, Stretch Me, Poke Me, says all kinds of things. It just doesn't seem like a kid's toy to me. There's a lot of people stocking up their carts in here, trying to buy toys for the last time.
Enter the dangerous game.
Surprised this is actually still working. Some of the shelves in here are really empty. Not much left on some of it. This is what's left of the clothing area, and there's not much left. It's really been picked over. That rack right there is just completely empty. Most of the racks have barely anything left hanging on them. So there's nothing but empty shelving in this area right here, but the back part of this has tons and tons of boxes just filled with stuff. Not sure why it's not on the floor to sell. I also noticed that these poles right here have sold signs on them. One of the things that's surprising about Toys R Us is that they never really updated their shelving. So you can see these old dingy scratched up shelves. Never did much with it. As you look at the signage even, you'll see old yellow signage that was probably around when I was a kid. I'm really kind of bummed that the store is closing, because this is, like I said, the store that I always came to. It was like a dreamland. More toys than you can imagine were in here. A lot of the baby items are fast disappearing. Probably don't even have to mark those down very much and they'll disappear. And as you can see, it's 30% and 40% off. I was just noticing these on the shelf and it kind of looks like an older box, but I don't know if they made it to look vintage. These were huge whenever I was a kid. I didn't even know that they still made underoos. You can see where they've pasted the 6 over the previous number that was there. This is where like all the strollers and stuff like that are. And it's starting to get empty as well. So actually there's things all over the place in here right now. It's starting to get messy. All sorts of trash, boxes everywhere. It's starting to get to where it's not organized. Who is that?
It's a guy. His name is Time, and he controls all. Like, if someone that is like old and he wants them to die, he can make them die because he can control every single time, and he has like a clock thing in the back of his head.
Now, I never had any boys, so I've spent a lot of time in these girl aisles of Toys R Us since I've been grown. I always wished I had a boy, because that was the section that I liked, right across over that way. It's really cool. This is a remote control R2-D2. It comes with this controller right here. I guess these will end up somewhere else. They got a bunch of them. $89.99 right now. But it's a Toys R Us exclusive. So we're now back in the section that would have the bicycles. And as you can see, there are not very many bicycles left. Just a few. And just a few scooters as well. When I was a kid, the green machine was the thing to have. Now this is a more high-tech one. I had kind of the knockoff brand. It was called the Blue Max. But you could pedal this, and then you pull those levers and the back wheels turn, and you could do 360 spin outs on it. It's my favorite thing ever. Here's a more sophisticated one, green machine with a spoked wheel on it. A lot more high-tech than what we had as a kid. That's a cool one.
I want one.
He does have like the coolest lightsaber. He's just kind of a wimpy character though.
Can I get this and use it on the kids at home?
Like if they say something, just whack them on the back of the neck. So Sarah has fallen in love with this lightsaber here. Do you notice this other one right here?
Well, that looks wimpy and stupid.
It looks wimpy and stupid?
I want this one.
I don't know. That one extends out.
This one's cooler. The girls had one like this, and eventually it quit like extending.
Yeah, but look at this. It comes with this.
Well, I don't care. I want
It's like a
this one.
shield so you don't get your hands hit.
Daddy,
This one is stupid.
sometimes whenever you get that one and you put it up like this. No, you can't control it. You're the one shooting it into the aisle. Oh, I almost did this.
We're done.
No, it's
You're gonna get me kicked out.
Right.
But look at those balls down there. No, you gotta control it. You gotta like toss it or something.
Yeah, you toss
You can get kicked out. I got kicked out of Toys R Us, this Toys R Us, for throwing a football back and forth when we were hitting the signs on the ceiling.
You said this Toys R Us.
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah. It was Sean and I, and then a couple other friends. We were like tossing it down this long area. 16, 17. Why? Do you remember this character?
You said what?
Do you remember that character?
I haven't even seen all the movies.
That's from Rogue One. You've seen that?
Seen all the movies.
You've seen all of them now.
You've seen them all? Just come out? Oh, you didn't see that one?
We didn't go with y'all.
Oh.
I don't remember seeing that though.
It's
I
like a
don't.
mop.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it either.
This is Try Me. Huh. Look at this. The fat little Darth Vader ball. Oh, it's actually breathing. Why don't we get you the budget one?
That's not fun.
Huh. These say 50% off. Look at that one.
These look about the right size for my head.
Oh, no joke. It really is your size.
I have to take off my hat.
Did you see that? That does the same thing.
This one is cool looking.
Oh, he's turning his head too, isn't he? I don't know if they've cleared their warehouse or what, but there's just this whole section here. It looks like there was pegboard over on the right, but this whole section is nothing but loaded grocery carts. It's like they cleared everything out of the stock room. It's not organized in any way, shape, or fashion. Not sure if these are old toys, leftover toys from Christmas. It's so disorganized though, you can't even look through it to see if you want to buy something. Some of them have prices marked on them, and then others, there's no way of telling. You just have to use the scanner. And what we found is some of the scanners in here work and some of them don't. Why would they have all this like this? I mean, this product's not even sellable the way it is. You can't even dig through the carts, and you don't know the prices. You don't know how much it's marked off. A ton of American Doll stuff in this area. This was always a big area for different Christmas seasonal things that they had. But right now it just looks like a zombie apocalypse of American Girl dolls. So many.
Yeah, a volleyball girl on crutches.
What in the world?
That's the only one they put on crutches.
So out of all the sports here, they have
and
volleyball.
She has a broken arm and a broken finger. They're just discriminating.
Yeah, you don't get hurt that much in volleyball, do you?
Hey, I broke my ankle in volleyball.
This is really safe. They have this dog holding the marshmallows over a fire right near the sleeping bag. This kid's still wearing the BB-8 helmet.
That's cute.
This was the best invention of 2015. It was so good they have a whole lot of those left.
Oh no.
Now I can't remember the exact setup through here, but this is where I would go to get the Atari games and the original Nintendo games. I had friends with a Sega, so Sega games would be purchased here, as well as old Commodore 64 games. This was the only place besides Target where you could get stuff like that. I think it's just kind of lacking excitement compared to how it used to be. They used to have all sorts of game consoles in here where you could test and try, and there were lights and loud music that was from the game systems that was just unique to this area. And I know Walmart kind of has those things now, but I mean, this place was booming back in the day. You always wanted to come here and just dream over the different games that they had here and the game consoles and see what was new and next and coming out. All seems to be gone, just lacking excitement. Everything's kind of dingy and yellow. Just lacks newness and excitement. These are all 60% off, but they probably should be more than that, although the price, 60% off of that. This is the official 2017 toy section. Thank you. Toys R Us, the last toy store that we're ever going to have, most likely.
Why? That's not something to be pissed off about. It is not something to be pissed off about.
Wow. Store closing sale. This location only, which we now know it's every location. They had this location in another store in Norman that was set to close. But now we're going to be seeing every Toys R Us close. Gone forever. Entered this store so many times, it was like a dream come true to go through and just look around at all the toys. Now our kids are never going to know what it's like to walk in a huge toy store. They're only going to know what's in Walmart and online at Amazon. And then of course this right here is Sarah's toy. She wanted this lightsaber, so she's probably going to be going all around the house. Push that button. And then as you move it around, it makes different sounds. So once a Toys R Us kid, always a Toys R Us kid.
I can still sing the whole jingle too.
At least until they close. Okay, sing the jingle.
I don't want to grow up because I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million games of Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. No, I don't want to grow up because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Excellent. Toys R Us. Going bye-bye forever.